HSLC is a nonprofit organization that's been in existence for almost 30 years now. We were founded in 1988, and we have been serving Pennsylvania libraries ever since. We have recently gone through an evolving into a new name. So we're still known by our initials, HSLC, but instead of being Health Sciences Libraries Consortium, we are now Hosting Solutions and Library Consulting. So we feel that really matches much more clearly what our role is today. So at this time, we are a partner to the State Library. So we are responsible for spending access PA money and power library money. So it's a combination of state and federal LSTA funds, which basically bring you the power library.
So it seems like evolving and sort of changing on your feet is kind of a common theme, because the organization has changed quite a bit since when it was founded, and also you've adjusted to a lot in terms of funding stream changes, technological changes, all kinds of changes that really change the whole complexion of your environment.
Absolutely. When HSLC was founded, it was literally a consortium of only health sciences libraries, and that consortium banded together in order to purchase technology and to automate right when things were just beginning to happen in the library world. So as time went on, however, other opportunities were available to those libraries, and around the year 2000, HSLC did a shift and actually took over the Access PA program, and that turned into the Millennium program, which a lot of libraries are familiar with. And then I would say by about 2010, the funding cuts that hit everyone across the state hit HSLC as well, because we are funded by grant money that's administered by the Office of Commonwealth Libraries. So our budget was literally cut in pretty much half in the 08-09 cycle. So at that point, that's when I think the entire state did a shift. That is when the Evergreen system and Spark came into being, partly as a reaction to no longer having funds to subsidize libraries on a Millennium system. So while those libraries went off to a different ILS, HSLC had to kind of reevaluate and shift what its services would be as well. So we have since moved into the SHARE-IT system, statewide catalog and ILL system, and that was mainly as a result of trying to make final adjustments to that the change in the subsidy, the grant funding that comes to us from Commonwealth Libraries. So that was a really big change for us in 2015. We've made some other organizational changes as well to try and just shrink the budget while still providing as many of the services as we can through the funding.
So some of us are familiar with dealing with migrations for ILSs and processes like that. We know that they're big deals. But very few of us have dealt with a project as large as the transfer of Access PA from the Millennium system to the SHARE-IT system. Do you want to talk a little more about what that was like?
Sure. Well, I arrived here in 2013, and the first thing that we did as a staff was just go through all of the services we were currently providing. The Millennium system and the III VDX system that was combined to manage ILL was basically end of life, had been for quite some time. It was unsupported, and so we looked at that as probably the first piece of triage that needed to be handled. So even though we looked at all services, we thought that took the top priority. We knew that the system had not been updated for several years, going back to the budget cuts in 08-09, which helped with a lot of pre-processing of data and doing some intermediary steps that would introduce records into the statewide catalog. So the decision, was pretty easy to make. We decided we were not going to migrate the old system to a new system. But that first year we spent doing the analysis, looking at all of the functionality we wanted to retain in a new system, and then we actually issued an RFP. And so by the end of 2014, we had selected a new vendor, and that vendor was Autographics. So it took literally a year to 18 months to do all the pre-planning and to lay the groundwork. And then with starting new, we cut the cost of not trying to pay for processing of the old records. So we do still have all of our old records archived somewhere, so if we have to get to them, we can, because that was really important work that, happened. But we have managed in a new project to create a database that has the same number of copies as the old database did. 44 million copy records are in the new ILL system, but we have vastly improved deduplication. So we went from 22 million bibs in the old system to 8.5 in the new. So we're really hoping that, for less money, we're seeing more value at this point.